this camera. Intro. This is part 2 of our NX500 review. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out. You get a penny for every 10 views, and that feels really great in the hands. So, in the last part of our video, we said we'd take this pony for a ride, or we'd ride this kitten into the forest. Or I said some dumb shit, and we were supposed to go into the streets and test this camera out. And we did that 3 times, YouTube. We did that 3 times, and it failed each time. We're not gonna let you know what happened, but here's some of the stuff that's not 100% up. You know, that's when we rolled up on those fools, and I was like, hey, you f***ed my didn't you? And he was like, what are you talking about? I've never seen you before. I was like, nuh-uh, you know who I'm talking about. Oh, wait. We're at 3200 ISO right now, and there's actually no noticeable noise. God damn it, Josh. So the video and the photo are great. The image quality is amazing, as you can see. The NX500 had an update since our last video, which had really great improvements. It has better autofocus. For you lazy motherfuckers, learn how to use manual focus. It makes you a better person. Josh, you use automatic focus all the time. You need to stop. There is also a new Pro video setting, which gives you 70 megabits per second. That's 20 more than Sony does. And we did some comparisons. Looks pretty nice. But 70 megabits per second nice? I don't know about that. The quality is obviously much better than what we got out of the A6000. You have a 4K sensor inside this camera. So even the 1080 looked better than the A6000 quality-wise. In terms of image information, we couldn't really push the grade too much in the NX500, so that 70 megabits per second doesn't really help too much. The 1080 60 frames per second video does get some improvements from that new codec though, because it was pretty shitty. I'm gonna be honest with you. The manual says it has like 35 megabits per second. Come on, Samsung. You made this screen and you couldn't give us good 60 out of the camera. Go home with that shit. Photos were nice. You have 9 frames per second burst in JPEG, and you have 6 frames per second burst in RAW. The A6000 has 20. It was pretty nice. You know, you don't need 20 frames per second burst if you're very casual. That's if you're gonna go take a photo of, you know, sports or live events or nature. You might want that burst, but you know, what are you gonna do with this, the Samsung? You're gonna hang out with your friends. You're gonna take some pictures. You don't need 20 shots of Emily throwing up in the back of the bar because Justin came to the bar with some new girl that she's never seen. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just get the 9 frames and then help her. Hold her hair back while she's throwing up. We got you. The more we use this camera, the more we realize that this is basically an A6000 with some newer technology. You have more megapixels in here, and we did get a little bit more detail compared to the A6000. You have a different video codec, and we also saw some more information in the video. The only thing that really sets the A6000 apart is that high speed burst, the EVF, and its friendliness when it comes to video. There's a lot of clunkiness in this camera when it comes to video, and a bit in photo as well. But if you're a really casual photographer or videographer, this is great for you. Even if you're professional, I'd say this is a good B camera. Otherwise, honestly, you can't really tell the difference between Samsung and Sony, but Samsung paid us less, so get the NX500. Oh, Sony paid us less? You know, we've been through a lot with this camera. It wasn't our best first experience with Samsung, but we went through it all. So, Samsung, you owe us at this point. Send us a new camera, send us another check in the mail. This is Jay with Digital Hype TV. Next week, I'll show you how to f it.